Creation, creation, creation. We are creating. Oh, I got sparkle fingers. Wow. That is a signal that the docking has actually reconvened. We were actually redocked. We undocked for a second, and Regenera is actually back in session, to never actually quit. We live in a quantum reality where even when we're not here, we're totally here. So I'm Mage. I'm Mystic MC from Regenera. I am a one of those people with words, and they happen to define poetic situations that call us into deeper investigation, curious words, curious questions that bring us to our deeper purpose. And in this space, I have the pleasure of introducing a friend that has been brought into my sphere through this cohort here. Their birth name, Mark Farrell, but they go by the name of Kane. And it's a exploration of queer futures during times of transition, as they are located at the intersection of intention and identity. Kane is an embodied artist creating climate-informed work, and it's been an honor to get to know you through this cohort, and I'm really excited to see your presentation. How are you doing today?
Well, well, thank you for the intro. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I feel
Well,
myself on like hour 4 or 5 of computer time, so I'm definitely a little a little tired.
it's tree time.
Um,
It's time to touch some grass after this, for sure. Yeah.
yeah, no, for sure.
Awesome. Well, I will
Um,
pass the microphone to you and look forward to hearing your presentation. Thank you. Oh, wow, look at that.
Yay.
That was magic.
So glad to have this mic. Um, Thanks, y'all. It's really sweet to be here today and to share this. It's been a really cool portal to formalize a lot of ideas that has been swirling for a while. Um, I want to just start us out with like a video that I put together that is just kind of a showcase of some of my work and kind of a vibe. Um, so yeah, without further ado, I'll just do that. And I'll make sure to share sound and optimize for video sharing. And enjoy. Cuando sabes estas cosas,
You're awake.
sí.
I don't know, like life is a mystery.
Right.
And I like to trust in the mystery of life.
Yay. Um, so as you can tell, um, love people, love the planet, love bodies. Um, there's a lot to share, but I want to keep it somewhat concise. Um,
Hi, ladies. Good, good.
Do not feel like you
I
need
am.
support. Oh, somebody
Yes.
is off mute.
Oh, so you can park here. Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Oh,
can
Adita,
actually
you can park here.
I don't know if you guys knew, but you can actually park here.
What I was gonna say is you do not need to rush. You have 20 minutes. Give it all. Do not take your time. Please take your time. Do not
Thank
rush.
you. Thank you. Welcome to the Regenera parking lot. It's also the red light district. So yeah, I have a couple different like elements of the work that I want to speak to. And then at the end I'll kind of get into the more the nuts and bolts and the more kind of solid logistics of the thing. Um so I'll read just a little piece that I wrote the other day, and this I'm like I should probably I should have probably thought this all through more, but I guess on a conceptual level, what I'm working on is a sense-making initiative to help tell the story of the times in a global sense and specifically focusing on the queer community. I studied climate science. I'm a performing artist. I'm a sex worker. I am informed by the worlds of climate science and yeah, like hard truth. Um, and kind of I exist somewhere in between those things. So I'll share this piece of writing to kind of give some context, but my elders speak of a time when they couldn't see a future, and their elders lived through times when not only was a future not visible, the present was hardly clear. Queer people have always, until very recently, had to dream of and imagine futures for themselves that there seemed to be no possibility of arriving in. And they are not alone. They are joined by every people who who have been invisibilized and had their stories stolen from them, left transparent with no history or future. But in the darkness, we develop a creative capacity to conjure a path ahead through the void, a byproduct of drawing breath on a bright summer solstice morning of a day we were not supposed to exist in. And not just breathing, but beaming. Mark. As we crossed the threshold between millennia, some voices started to appear, speaking of an impending threat, something something global warming, something something help the polar bears. But by the time I arrived to my senior year of university in 2020, the tone had changed dramatically. The world had begun to grasp the level of existential danger we are in, and as a climate major, I understood better than most. The ecosystemic collapses, mass extinction events, and the looming possibility and increasing reality of a positive climate feedback loop that runs away into full breakdown of the biosphere. Even as I speak these words, I can feel the paralysis creep in. How do you continue to live your life? How do we make sense of the future when it doesn't seem to exist anymore? You know, I think I might know some people who have some experience in doing that. And that's a bit of the philosophical soil that Stories of Change, this project that I've been working on, exists in. Um, yeah, I was split open in college. I studied climate and then graduated into the pandemic. I've only ever known um, the reality of collapse. And uh, this has been a really beautiful cohort to help me like want to tell a more hopeful and regenerative future, but if I'm being honest, I just want to tell the story of the times. And I think that a hopeful story will come out of that regardless. Um, but there will also be stories and pieces that I share that are just raw and real. And um, yeah, yeah. Well, I'll stop there in that regard. I want to speak to like why is it important that there are naked bodies on the screen? Why is it important that there are levels and elements of eroticism included in the work? I have grappled with that for a while and not understood why it felt so important to me that that was a part of the storytelling. And in many ways, I felt that it is actually like invalidating the work, that it like there's an important message here, but there's bodies on the screen, so it makes it thin. Um, and I've come to a place where I'm like, no, it's absolutely crucial that these things live together, actually. On a practical level, this work functions through global connection and using the World Wide Web to find people and to connect with people across borders. And the body is a beacon. The body allows me to find people and people to find me. So, on a practical level. I also was so frustrated coming out of climate science and it just being charts. Like it's just being IPCC reports and there's nothing I can feel about that. There's nothing that really lands in my body about climate change when I'm looking at a chart. But what does land for me is a body laid bare, experiencing and letting and telling me the experience of living the numbers that they're seeing. How is that landing in their lives and in their bodies? Like I want to feel it. Like we have the numbers, we have the data, nothing is happening. And I think the gap is because there isn't an actual embodied understanding and feeling of it. So there's an imperative there that the two find each other. Um, yeah. And I think in that there's an antidote to numbness as well. Um, yeah. So erotic aliveness just like needs to be a part of the climate discussion, and I want to be a part of doing that. Um, I'm gonna move to some slides that I have to kind of round it out, um, which kind of also kind of build on this theme. Um, these are some quotes that I just like really, really enjoy. There's an incredible person on Instagram named Victor Waring. His handle is Bonobo Man. And he says, colonized cultures don't tolerate erotic aliveness because erotically intelligent people don't make a good captured workforce. Somatically alive creatures don't tolerate their taxes going towards death and increasing privilege for the privileged. People that live in bodies that are willing to feel, move, and witness human experiences spanning from grief to arrows don't put up with a lot of shit. And I feel like that also kind of like speaks to it. I also just love this one. It's like you're escaping samsara, I'm making love to it. We are not the same. Because that's also kind of feels core. And then of course this quote from Adrienne Marie Bown and this like wonderful tweet. May we all love in ways that devastatingly disrupt organized state violence. So logistically, like what am I even talking about? So the idea is I want to continue because I've already made 4 in Costa Rica, Peru, Berlin, Barcelona, and then actually 5, and another one here in the States in California. But I want to do a series of videos, interview style, complemented by imagery, and sort of like people speaking to their experiences of this time. it could also like kind of be all compiled into one short film that gets shown somewhere. I don't know yet. Um, it could also manifest as a book where there's like photos um, with corresponding quotes from people or things that came out of my sessions with them. Um, and on some level, it's just witnessing of what's real and what's happening. And on another level, I think my highest prayer is that there's like in all of the sense making, there's a path forward that's offered, and there's something that makes sense to some to people who engage with it. Um, this is the rough route. I want to start in January. And I'll be gone for about a year and a half, up to two. These dots aren't specific. I just know this is like the rough idea. So when we get to needs and requests, this will become a little bit more like on other people's dashboards, but I also just like it was really fun to make this and get really excited and nerdy and be like, oh my God. Um, so that's the idea. Who it's people I've connected with over the years. I've been doing yeah, connective work on social media platforms for around 10 years now. So I have a lot of connections. Um, but also these other kind of things. And this is another on y'all's dashboard thing. Um, and yeah, this is my request for anybody watching this is I'm looking for connections. I'm looking for people that I can stay with and interview and share their stories and share their hope and their inspiration. I also don't really know how I'm delivering this. It's like a heart mission. I never was like coming at this because like I was trying to do anything specific with it. I just felt like I needed to do it. Um, so now I'm like, okay, like how am I gonna get this out? So any advice in that regard would be very helpful. And then it's all self-funded. So any sort of um, grants or anything that people know of that would be helpful to someone doing this kind of work would be super welcome. Okay, cool. Thanks. Really sweet to share it.
Ah, so incredible. Wow. I'm so glad you got to share your video. I'm trying to figure out who is, oh, Ari is your MC.
Hello. Roxy, while you're throwing me up here, would you give me co-hosting duties so that I can do that for myself?
Oh, I sure can.
Thank you. Um, I love it, Kane. It's been so great getting to know you over the course of this year, and I'm so yeah, here to just champion you from the sidelines to say like by all means follow the heart journey and let that expression of this thing that you I mean it's so much richer to be in something that you don't know the purpose for the outcome of, because then you can really truly be present with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, is it your intent to document it and share it with us along the way as you go, or are you going to be capturing something to share at the end?
My sense is that it'll be kind of along the way as much as possible.
Yeah.
But there'll probably be like a cumulative work or several towards the end.
Well, I know that those of us who have gotten to know you well through this process will be really curious to see little snapshots from the journey on the way.
Well, thank you so much. It's been a huge support to have it incubate, cultivate here in this community. So
Beautiful.
I want to just add something that really touched me about the permission to just be with the grief, be with the pain, be with the ache of the devastation that's happening, and feel the like connection of the vulnerability of our bodies in nature and like our relationship with like aliveness. And I was drawing this connection between literally like clothing myself and separating myself from the aliveness of the earth and like exploring that metaphor. And yeah, just the other day my friend sent me a little video of a baby Bambi. She was like, it was just born and it was hopping around. I'm like, how is this Bambi hopping around? Like, we are born as these like little blobs, and then we like have to be taken care of, but we'll die, you know?
Right.
So silly. As humans, we do not come out being able to take care of ourselves at all. Um, but to choose to like return to our core form, and to be in a deepened relationship with like our eros, and how often people in modernity are really separated from their pleasure and from, you know, their erotic essence, and how vital and important that is for the healing of the world. I just, yeah, this project is so important. And the fact that it's connected to grief, and like that it also alchemizes the that healing and like support of queer bodies. It just, there's so many layers, and I'm just so grateful. I'm so grateful for this body of work and for you. And yeah, thank you so much, love.
Thank you,
It's so
Lion.
inspiring. Let's frolic in nature together naked.
Talk about how sad we are, but how exciting the future is when we feel it and we can let it be. And so,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah, you're so welcome. Thank you. Truly. One of my indigenous elders reminded me some time ago that when things just feel like they're stuck, to go be naked by the water, by flowing water specifically.
Yeah. Yeah.
And,
I mean, there's so
you
much to
reminded
like
me of that.
here. Yeah, there's a lot of different layers here, but it's on just like the fundamental level of like, if we want to talk about decolonization, if we want to talk about regeneration, if we want to talk about like on a systems level, trying to like move towards hopeful futures, like we can't ignore our own bodies that
Mm-hmm.
are also experiencing these like on this
Mm-hmm.
experiential level. So let's start there,
Let's do
maybe.
it. Yes. Bless you, love. Thank you so much. Thanks, Ari, for letting me interject. I just had to share a
I
reflection.
mean, yeah, you gotta be in the frolic naked in the buttercups moment when it comes. Frolic and weep. I feel like that's yeah, the two really important modes, not the only two. Thanks, love. It's now my pleasure to introduce Patricia Sogayar back up to the stage here. She's going to be sharing with us her work exploring a living architecture for systemic regeneration through 7 dimensions, 7 principles, and 7 pathways for systemic transformation. Patricia Sogayar is a regenerative systems catalyst, facilitator, and experienced designer with over 20 years of cross-sector experience, spanning business, civil society, education, eco-villages, and global challenge networks across 11 countries. Patricia, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Ari. And it's been a pleasure to be with you all. And I see many friends that have been with me in this journey for a long time. And I want to start honoring and sharing how grateful I am to be here with you, because this is part of your story too, somehow. So I'm really happy to share what came through me, and just realize we are in Solstice. What a special day to share. Like, we are talking about cycles, and a message that just came to me today. And so I wanted to really start by honoring the land I'm right now in, because I couldn't think of a better place to be and be talking about living architecture for systemic regeneration than being in a biohub that is doing a fantastic work here in Brazil near Rio de Janeiro for almost more than 20 years, and embodies what I'm going to talk in the solstice, which is also this place that invites in ancestors and all this energy of this beautiful earth that we are all so in connection with. So maybe before I start, can I share a little bit about what I heard about the solstice energy with you? So look at this. It's a time of turning inward, of silence and reflection, inviting us to learn from the experiences we have lived and to listen more deeply to what is emerging within. Winter teaches us that even when everything appears still, transformation is taking place. Just as seeds rest beneath the soil before they sprout, we too need moments of pause, to gather energy, reflect on our journey, and prepare for new cycles to grow. It's time to honor the wisdom of our elders and ancestors, to respect different perspectives, and to transform knowledge into wisdom. Indigenous traditions remind us that wisdom is knowledge put into practice with love. If I just would read everything here, it's like what I'm talking afterwards, like knowledge help us answer the questions of what, who, where, and how. Wisdom helps us understand why. For this reason, knowledge reaches its deepest value only when it arises from love, balance, and inner harmony. Winter also speaks of endings and beginnings, death and life, acceptance and renewal. It invites us to forgive, cultivate compassion, release old patterns, and strengthen our spirit. Its greatest teaching is generosity, sharing what we have learned, giving back to the earth what we have received, and offering love to others. The more love we give, the more love we receive. The mind associated with this direction guides our choices, beliefs, and transformations. It is a creative force that helps us make meaning of life and direct our energy toward what truly matters. What truly matters to you? For me, what truly matters is connection and love. And from that place, I want to share with you what I came here to discover in these years. Let me start by sharing. Can you see?
Yes.
Thank you. Can you imagine the planet Earth in all its abundance, bringing us that love back, and we all flourishing in this work with ease, joy, and grace? So my big question has been like, what is truly required? Like, I've been in a whole journey out of questions, I must say. But the one I'm talking about the story of how I came after this presentation. For now, I will talk about the living architecture for itself. And the main question for me that emerges so we came to the living architecture is, what is truly required for systemic regeneration to emerge in this world where we see so much fragmentation? For me, this integration is the key to the next level that we need to go in order to really have that systemic regeneration. So the question would be, how do you move from isolated initiatives who are awesome? I mean, everybody in this room have amazing projects. So what could happen if we could really coordinate those efforts and work together in collaboration? What else would be possible? So that's the quest. And let's go there. So I've talked a little bit about this already. We don't need more initiatives. What's missing is not our joy, our passion, our care for the earth. It's really about connection, coherence, and coordination. How do we do that? And so I came with this image of the sumauma tree, which is this Brazilian Amazon tree representing the great mother with all Gaia's wisdom, like our home, our compass. So the living architecture is divided in 3 dimensions, 7 dimensions, 7 principles, and 7 offerings. So the dimensions being kind of this field, what are the conditions needed for us really to be able to live systemic regeneration? The principles as the roots, what are the values, those deep values that really nourish and allow that to sustain in time? And the offerings as the branches, and the impact we can do, the systemic impact, like the fruits. And so let's go into the dimensions. Are you curious? I'm not seeing many people here. Let me try to go to the other. I love to see you. Great. Now I'm seeing you better. So for those dimensions, the first one that I put, which is not in number, is love. Because I feel like that's really the field. That's the living force that sustains, that connects, that weaves all together. And we, with all the fears we are facing and the separation we are living, we somehow disconnected from that force. So there is a gateway to flow again with life. And that gateway is kind of facing fear, is the name of the dimension. It's just not just fear, but as we were mentioning before, how do we come back to allow those feelings to go through us, to transmute, to move? So allowing grief, allowing fear, allowing sadness to be seen, to be honored, and through that be transmuted, and opening the gateway for us to flow again with life. And then we have coherence in all its levels. Coherence for us to be really aligned with that flow of life. So first, the individual coherence, because if we are fragmented ourselves, what type of actions are we bringing into the world? So it all starts with us, bringing this inner alignment rooted in self-awareness, heart coherence, authenticity, presence. And then the relational trust, like this is such an important, a key piece of any process. How can we collaborate if we don't have trust, right? Like how can anything happen without trust? So trust is really key. And building that relational field of deep collaboration and collective emergence. So that's the second layer of coherence, the relational coherence. And then we move into the other layer that I'm calling here collective intelligence, like the sensing or collective coherence, which is really accessing this wisdom of the whole system. So we can create a shared vision with enough clarity of where do we need to put our energy? Where are the blind spots? Where are the leverage points if resources are limited? Where are we moving? Where are we doing our next small movement that can make a bigger difference? So that's the collective intelligence dimension. And then we can move. If we have that shared vision that allows the systemic view, we are already in that spirit of relational coherence and individual coherence. Naturally, we will be able to start collaborating and creating actions out of what we saw is needed together. So that's where the systemic coordination enters. So the systemic coherence there, translating coherence into coordinated systemic action. So here is kind of that image of the murmuration happening, where we don't collide, we don't compete, we are together for that same purpose, where life is in the center. And great, we have all of that, but there is this other dimension that Kane was just mentioning. There are different ways. How can we bring our body? We have been so much here in our heads, disconnected from our bodies. So how can we bring that in, integrating that in practices, in experiences, so real transformation can happen? So those were the 4 dimensions as the conditions that would allow systemic regeneration to happen. And then what are the principles that could support that? So the first one, life is in the center of our decisions. So if we put that in the center in everything we design, then probably our world would be different. The other one is interbeing, and our beautiful African friends know that for longer and are practicing that Ubuntu, I am because you are. So how can we really recognize and reconnect to that sense of we are all interconnected? The third principle is deep listening or deep regenerative listening. How can we really go there? We practiced a little bit here when we were experiencing the methodology. Like how can we really go back to deep listening ourselves, others, but the earth in the first place, and the earth is ourselves as well. So how can we really reconnect and put the earth in the center, life in the center, and see what is it asking from us right now? What does Gaia need from us right now? Are we really aligned to it or not? Are we listening? Are we listening to what our role is, to what our natural gifts are? What is our part? So this is all deep listening. The emergence is the other principle, which is like really when we allow this intelligence to talk to us through this deep listening and see what wants to emerge. We are there as midwives of this life force. What's next? Serving the earth and not the other way around. And in regenerative mindset as the other principle, very important. I've put here the curiosity, the heart coherence, the responsibility that we need to take back to us. But I was thinking there are 2 core beliefs that enter here in the regenerative mindset, that if we embody those beliefs, many things would change. And let me bring them and see if that resonates with you. One of them is, what if we have already everything we need? We have already enough. There is for all. There is for all. If we have that in mind, there is for all, something shifts and we don't need to accumulate because we don't access that flight and fight mode. There is for all. There is for me. I don't need to rush. I don't need to enter in that state. And the other one, I'm enough. I'm enough and I can do a lot already. I can make a difference with what I have now. I can already contribute a lot just by being myself. If I'm here right now at this moment on earth, I already belong. I'm already enough. I'm already an important piece of this puzzle. I wanted to invite you to just breathe in with those two beliefs and see what that makes in your own body. I have everything I need. There is for everyone. With what I am, I can already contribute to this world I'm building. I don't need any one more course, one more this, one more that. Can you feel a difference in your own body? Can you feel an expansion? So, yeah, I feel those beliefs are very important for us to move and to work with. The other principle, planetary care. So the Earth and future generations are living partners in what we are doing. And last but not least, in fact, it again carries everything, love in action. Love expressing as a practical, systemic, and living force that sustains the field. How am I being that expression in my day-to-day life? Is that making any sense to you all so far? Yes? Wonderful.
Absolutely.
Thank you. So if that makes sense, if we have those principles and we have those dimensions, so how can we turn that into practice? I love the theories, but what I love most is contributing, really seeing that my action is contributing to change the world now. Like, I want to see that. So what could be some offerings? We came here with 7 offerings. And well, one of them is the methodology that kind of embodies everything that I have talked so far about not just the principles are in between, but also the dimensions. So the methodology embraces the inner coherence, the relational trust, the collective intelligence, the systemic coordination, like moving in those expansion circles. But as a transversal thing, we have facing fear or all our emotions, allowing them, the love in the center, and embodiment. That's part of the methodology, but it's not a fixed methodology. We are all here working with different methodologies, and this one is kind of a meta frame that embodies and includes everything else. It's just a way to integrate what is already there. And the idea is to make it an open source that people can define their own trail, bringing here every tools we know that could work in the inner coherence for relational trust and so on. And then we can map then, people can decide what to do and make their own trail according to their purpose. So the offerings, I will start from the last one. That's in the chronological time, but I will start with the last one. Uniprema is this systemic regeneration lab I created this year that somehow embodies and holds together all those offerings, and have another offering which would be personalized services of designing transformative programs and ecosystems and experiences for human and planetary flourishing. But then through the journey, I will go for the other ones that we've created specific, because when I was talking to change makers and we were trying to make things happen, I got some feedbacks and I realized funding is something really important. Who here needs some resources? Or let me, I want to see the hands. Who here wouldn't mind by receiving resources? Who has that as a pain? Like, oh my gosh, I need to stop what I'm doing to try to find more and more. Who is going to support me? And I'm talking, everyone is in the same, people. So here, that's why we came to this as the first option, fund of the funds. This would be a place for regenerative capital for systemic transition. And I had this reflection, you know, money is like this part of the system. And if we see nature and the whole system, we are talking like about this much abundance, and we are here struggling and even competing between ourselves to this part here that is so little. And even if we would cooperate and get all that money, that wouldn't be enough for all the change that is needed for now. So it's like, why don't we align back to nature? Nature is abundant in itself. We are workers of nature. We are workers of the earth. So how does nature pay us back? With abundance. Why are we not accessing it? Because we are looking to the wrong side, to just a narrow view. What if we could create this big fund of the funds where people, this ecosystem of regenerators, we would join there and stop competing and joining forces as a collective. We are the ones working for nature. What are the resources we have in terms of, we work with 8 capitals. Money is one part of it, and our time, and our resources, and our connections, and our intelligence. We have so much abundance already in the network. I see each faces here, and I was like, oh my God, we could already be changing the world. Like, we could be seeing the world change and the war stop, and so much more impact we could have if we could really collaborate and put there, you know, like those big needs and offerings, market sharing resources, and so working as a collective. Anyway, so this is the fund of funds. And then the Gaia Lab. The Gaia Lab is the Gaia Coordination Lab, is this multi-stakeholder coordination, activating collective intelligence and regenerative action. So yeah, that's really the place where Gaia is in the center. We are all listening to her, seeing what is it that she needs and working towards those needs together. And then the methodology, which I just shared, within the methodology, 4D mapping is one that we use. The Phoenix Passage is this journey that helps us go from fear to regeneration and transformation, helping the path of transformation and certainty, how we navigate that absenceing part of that is present. And the Oasis House, which was the first one in chronological part, that was like this place that we could slow down, reconnect with ourselves, with the earth, with everything, and nurture ourselves, recharge, and act from that place. But now it is there, and it's this big portal we could create where we can see ourselves as the system, where we, in that system, we belong, we care for each other, and we cultivate those relationships. So this is kind of a bit of each of the offerings. And you may think, oh, this is all too interesting, but it seems very abstract. It won't be possible, but we are testing it. And we want to start with a pilot by activating, for now, the well-being ecosystem in Brazil, with the idea of afterwards being possible to expand to the well-being ecosystem in the world. So for the Fund of Funds, we thought, working with the giving circles, like making this big campaign, 1,000 women giving 1,000 reais and contributing not just with money, but also with their vision, with their voice, with their wisdom, with their stories, you know? And so people co-create. They just not give the money, but we are co-creating that together. You know that story that we are the ones we are waiting for? So yes, we are the ones we are waiting for. So, and women are a big part of that, even that big change. And we will use the Gaia Coordination Lab, bringing then diverse representatives from across those systems, building them, going through the methodology, and using also other types of methodology, because as I said, it's kind of this frame. So bringing art and nonviolent communication, new theory, art of hosting, and other complementary methodologies, so that we can really have as this result a more impactful result, a systemic impact, with an ecosystem capable of coordinating actions, mobilizing regenerative capital, and amplifying those existing initiatives, strengthening a culture of care, generating systemic impact for people and planet. So if we think the world as it is, with all the mental health problems and issues and everybody's, anxious, depressed, like that's so present in the world's life today because society is sick. So it seems so perfect for me to start with the well-being of people, well-being of the earth, well-being of our social soil here. So I'm curious to hear how that all lands in you. But just to finish, we want to make this call to action here. So did you like it, what you saw? Like, does it make sense? If it resonates at some level to you, so we would invite you to participate, experience it through the transformative journeys or regenerative practices, immersive learning experiences, and collaborate, because we are just building it. So if you want to help be part of this, who needs to be, how do we need to design this fund of the funds? Who needs to be in the Gaia lab? You know, like all those things, it's open for us to design that together. So if you want to contribute there, welcome. If you want to apply that methodology, because the methodology, what I have learned is it can be applied anywhere. It's a possibility for you to generating more coherence and coordinated action, reducing the waste of resources anywhere. So if you want to apply that in your organization, your community, in your ecosystem or network, pilot it there. Or if you want to fund one of those projects, fund this first pilot, fund whatever you want to feel called to fund, and be part of it. Anyway, so contributions are all welcome, because regeneration, it's not something we build alone. It's something really we cultivate together. And so being together with any contribution matters, because it will strengthen this pathway as the whole. So that's for the presentation, and just an information that we are in the Topia world, which is this 3D virtual exhibition where all projects are there. So there I have put a more detailed explanation and presentation, which you can find in this one by clicking here, or you can go there and see the Suma Uma tree there and explore how we moved from Casa Oasis to 7 dimensions and the whole living architecture. So I stop for now because I want to see all of you to see what resonates and yeah, would love to hear a word at least of who wants to be together. Let's build this together. We are one. You know, I've heard from a friend, we may have, when we were working with families and first childhood, he said to this community we had built, like, we may have a lot of differences, but we are more similar than with any other group because we share these values, you know. And this is valid for us here as regenerators from different areas, countries, themes, and methodologies. We are one living system, and we may have differences, but that shouldn't prevent us from creating a bigger thing and uniting for the better of Gaia. Thank you.
So beautifully put, Patricia. I really want to encourage you to look into the chat. There was a lot of yeah, just lovely, very, very warm and excited feedback about this integrated model that you're working through and what you're tending. You mentioned in that deck that you were sharing there are links to click. Is there a link for that deck that that you'd like to drop in the chat so that people can engage with it?
Okay, I could try to see if I can open from here.
Yeah, and if not, we can absolutely find a way to share that as well.
I'm copying it right now.
Wonderful.
At least trying to.
Yeah. Well, yeah, no, it's been so beautiful to watch you develop this and to now see where it's taking life of its own. And yeah, I do really want to encourage the community watching and listening at home to reach out and engage with Patricia if you have an excitement alongside her. Well, thank you. And it's now my absolute pleasure.
I wanted to honor and just honor here some friends that have been in the process, and also I wanted to mention Talita, who is also with me in the pilot, is here. So lovely that we can be together from the very beginning.
Oh, how wonderful.
And thank you for all the friends that are in this journey for a long time and the ones for short time. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah, can't wait to see how it grows. And it's now my absolute delight to introduce from the other side of the world from me, but also a place where we are in the heart of winter, where the winter solstice is alive while the summer solstice shines on me. Raquel Woods, who's up early in the day to be with us, to be able to be here, and you know, through this year, I've been so yeah, appreciative of your willingness to be with us from the other side of the world. Raquel listens and follows the threads to see where life takes her. Books have been her companion alongside the quest of nature, sound, and pilgrimages that have helped her disengage from the stories and programs that are stored in the psyche and unconscious. This at times has led to turbulent waves and crises of faith, but Raquel's values of freedom and truth have called her into herself and her own sovereignty. By walking the long road across time, Raquel understands her service to humanity is through the arts, voice, creative potential, and rights to health by responding to the emerging field and opening doorways for futures to come. Raquel, so lovely to be with you today.
Thanks, Ari. Yeah, just to start, I Yeah, I'm just going to drop into gratitude because that really helps me anchor. And so thank you, Ari and Roxy and the team for just your generosity and passion and vision for what you've been doing and creating and bringing a global community together. Because through working and connecting with everybody, it's like really helped me to anchor my life's work into fruition. And I've been in the depth of that the last month in particular. And I feel really blessed and just to have this opportunity to come and speak to you all. Thank you to Kane and Patricia for your offerings because I feel like they both really resonate with me and how I have walked my path and in particular around pilgrimages and not knowing where the next step is and what's needed and then this sense of really coming into our own inner navigation system. And yeah, it's been a real test of faith at times to walk the path of the soul, walk this higher purpose and this knowing that I have of making a contribution to humanity. And one of the things that I've been sitting with is this piece around invisibility and using my voice and which feels like it's also the bigger picture of where I'm heading to and what I'm anchoring into the world. And so in terms of that, I wanted just to drop into what I'm currently working on, and it feels like multiple projects at the same time. I'm very passionate about shifting this mindset from struggle to thriving. And I feel like we all have the potential and it's not even the potential, it's the right to thrive in this world. And I'm very curious about bringing people together to feel into what's in the invisibility, into the field of and to dream into that space. And so a lot of the research and support connections that I've been making over the last few years is around the brain and the nervous system and fascia. And I'm doing a big piece around the body at the moment because the body needs a place to anchor. Our inner navigation or to thrive in the world is we need a place to anchor. And I feel like that anchor point is the body. So yeah, I'm in the process of creating a support for people who don't know how to access support, and that's in relationship to health and what is good support. How do I find the right support? How do I end support? And also to create, help people to be resourceful, especially when there's not a lot of financial support. So that's more of a community offering for me that I'm really passionate through my own health journey and navigating my nervous system and where I've also not felt empowered, and I want people to feel empowered to be able to sort and gather information so that they can make their the choice that's right for them. And the other part of this, I've already spoken about the inner navigation system and responding from the emerging field. And the third piece for me, which is a big body of work, is about the unspoken and what is in the unspoken. And when I don't name something, it stays in the space. When other people don't name or there's secrecy, it stays in our space. And so how can I support others to really clear up our space, our integrity, our use of our words, to really come in and be powerful creators of our lives? So that feels really important for me. And to do that in a way that is not in a therapeutic lens, but uses art and creativity. And I'm just going to pause. Yeah, it's like for me, the voice is so important to claim and to stand. Like it's like standing on my 2 feet. And how to do that together in community and in connection, and to break all of these generational patterns that keep playing out. So what's led me to here is trust. And some examples of trust, as Ari mentioned, was I love books. And I have been called to the most random places in op shops, and it's like, get this book. And sometimes I don't even know why I need this book. But I've been gathering books for the last 2 years, and basically books are becoming my companions, and I'm being guided to look at, oh, grab this paragraph and grab this image. And I'm in complete surrender of what is being shown. And sometimes I can feel my frustration of not wanting to go to an op shop, or like I've got too many books, but it's just, I feel in and I go, oh, is this like a priority for me, or is it something that I'm seeking? And so I make that real clear distinction. Another example is the building that I'm in. I needed to move from my place last year, and I was looking I live in Melbourne in Australia, and I was looking in the north of Melbourne, and it's a place that I've lived for over 10 years, but I couldn't find what I wanted. And I'm living in a resort. I literally living in a resort. It has like a co-working space. It has like a swimming pool, a sauna, a kitchen, a 26th floor, like 360-degree view of Melbourne. Like I couldn't have thought of anything better than where I'm living. And people said to me, oh, don't move here because there's no car space. And anyway, it just happened. Like I felt it in my body that I needed to be here. And so that's what I did. I decided to move here, and the car space worked out. Last year I was heading to Europe. I hadn't even booked my ticket. I knew that I was going. I knew I had to be in Portugal to sing. And literally I was on my all fours for 10 days, like wondering, like, when is the movement going to happen? I literally booked my flight the day that I left. I left 2 hours after I booked my flight. So what are the important qualities have I learned to follow the thread? So this is just a few, and I just thought they might be helpful for people. So letting go of understanding or trying to make something work, like my experience with Europe, feel the movement and the shifts and the quality of presence. Like it's like helping me to gain clarity around when do I feel expanded or when do I feel contracted? Pausing helps me to anchor in myself and in my connection with myself. Identifying a group of allies that is outside family and friends. That's really important. Someone who backs me and sees me, and then I can speak independently out of those contexts. So it's what's the word? Objective. And I can also, for me, growth is so important. It's about being able to see different perspectives and operating from a place of empowerment. Yeah, sometimes it's important to keep ideas and information close. And the reason why is then life shows me what I'm experiencing or what my awareness is showing me. And then it affirms and helps me to trust myself more. Stop searching is a great one. I know how I have searched a lot out of my life of like resources and support and but everything is actually here in the body, and there's worlds within our bodies. Like it's incredible. Like the intelligence that we all have and the potential is huge. And then the last one is the reminder to rest in the body and listen. And that is even just to yeah, after an appointment or catching up with friends, take 5 minutes. It's only 5 minutes just to pause and allow that experience to integrate before the next movement comes. And I find that also helps me to balance and re-energizes my energy levels. And yeah, my last kind of point that I wanted to bring up was yeah, just to yeah, what has like supported my journey. And this is just things that I've noticed that feel really important to me, and it's noticing the endings, beginnings, and gaps. Like really as yeah, right relationship. I really value right relationship and with people and finding a way where there's a win-win situation. So to resolve conflict, being comfortable in the unknown, naming. So naming, even if I don't know what to say, it's like, I don't know what to say, and then going from that place. Exploring the polarity. So it's not all light and love. That's spiritual bypassing. It's actually being able to hold the polarity and see them both and experience them both. And the last one is shifting from the story to what is possible. It's time that we stop being in the drama of things and to actually connect into our full potential as human beings. Thank you for hearing me and being with me and listening to me. And yeah, I feel really full in my heart for being here.
Thank you so much, Raquel. It's a gift you have to speak directly from the place of your being in this moment and to speak from the heart. And yeah, really that opening from gratitude really dropped me into my own gratitude for being on this journey with everybody on the call and everybody in the program. And I'm so grateful for you for stirring that in me.
Thanks, Harry.
I have to just come up and I know you said this at the beginning, Ari, but everybody, Raquel got up or stayed up so late just to join us in Design Side Studio week after week for what, 6.5 months, almost 7 months now. Like I guess, yeah, we're at 7 months. It's just your devotion to this evolution of your work and your life in service to creating a more just and thriving world, like, has kept me going in days where I'm like, I'm tired. I'm like, I bet Raquel's tired. She's staying up, getting up late. Like, there are these anchors across this whole process of being in this community of practice together in this program that like have given me life, and your devotion to being in sync, because you could have easily done this program asynchronously, and you chose not to because you wanted to like be in the flow with us and be in the pulse with us. And it was just so beautiful. And I was just texting my friend Becca Dakini, who is in Australia. She's in Byron Bay. She's been one of our advisors and longtime supporters. She was going to actually join us this evening, but had to deal with some work stuff, so she wasn't able to be here. And it was right around this time that she was going to join. And so I was like, I just texted her and I was like, I know you're not here, but there's a fellow Australian who's holding it down, you know? And I was really feeling her. I was feeling, I have a deep affinity for Australia. I lived there part-time for almost 4 years, and I'm just, yeah, just want to celebrate you for I keep saying it, but your devotion to like showing up in this way. It's been really tremendous. And now like hearing the thread that you just wove for us, it becomes more evident for me, like why that felt like the right choice for you. And I'm just so honored to be on this journey with you, Raquel.
Oh, thank you, Roxy.
Yeah.
I feel like I just want to do a love heart.
We were joking on the back end. I was like, I'm a terrible MC because I take too long and I just want to shower everyone love and just be like, but it's
But
true.
in this moment, it's actually
Yeah.
the most perfect segue, because
Is it love time?
we are slated to move from Raquel's gratitude out into the wider, bigger gratitude of our appreciation of all the people that make this program possible. Not just you all who have presented today or the 2 days before, and all of you who have cultivated, who have spent your time and effort and life engaged rather than in turning inwards or closing down doors in a challenging and sometimes tumultuous time, to devoting yourselves to opening and devoting yourselves to standing for a community that you come from, or standing for a vision for a community that you long to be a part of, and to really have put so much care and effort into each of the things that you've cultivated. Big, deep gratitude, of course, to the folks at the Vision Train for holding us and hosting us and being here with us alongside us. But so grateful for the crew of people that we get to do this with, Roxy. It has been, as so many have probably noticed, that winter, I don't know that I've talked to anybody with whom for whom that winter wasn't challenging in some really like key foundational way. I think we're really at this moment in our collective quest where we are being tempered in the fire of the world that we've created, to both give us insight into what needs to change, but also to give us strength into finding the motivation to change it and transform it. And that's certainly been true for us. Behind the scenes at the DSS this year on just so many levels that have touched us, personally in really profound and challenging ways. And then the journey of what it is to weave community from that place of both being incredibly, pushed into your own vulnerability from life, and then still having to put one foot in front of the other and care for something bigger than each of us. And so I'm just grateful to this whole team who you've gotten to meet in different ways through this weekend, but really just so grateful for everybody who's shown up and put in so many more hours beyond the call of duty than perhaps any of us imagined, and certainly than we have the capacity to reimburse or attend that this truly is a labor of love that comes from the hearts of so many. And all of you all who are on this call, who are here with us, are part of it and part of the reason why. I'm just going to start finding folks and bringing them up here to have a little moment to share with them in the spotlight for a moment.
And we also have some slides that Spencer has been lovingly tending behind the scenes, that I'm going to bring up now as well to just illuminate some of the amazing faces and voices and spirits that have come
All right, I'll stop adding real-time people to this. We'll save that for a moment.
well, everybody can be up here. Okay, let's see. I just want to make sure. This is it's always so powerful to make these slides where we look at all the folks who have contributed to something and try to even encapsulate it. But let's just bring it up real quick. Regenerate has risen. Love shower time. So just taking a moment to remember all of the beautiful voices and ideas, visions, initiatives, prayers, music, sculptures, frameworks, exercises, so much love and heart and effort and care that has been woven, each one of us a note in our communities, just to say these beautiful humans' names out loud. Hirsa Valanti Majeras, Amelia Rose Barlow, Amanda Art, Harlan Emil Gruber, Mariana Grossman, Malcolm Knapp, Pauline Drost, Marina Zion Rebels, Ali Van Zyl, Scott Huddy, Kairishi Wigginton, who's going to share after this, John Ackerman, Gigi Vandebrul, Govind Chitarath. This is some of the presenting artists and designers over the last few days. Maribel Gonzalez, Nicole Hill, Ana Maria Montonen, Mark Kane Farrell, Daniel Lindenberger, Kim Carson, Rebecca Pan, Izzy Newmadomsky, Della Burford, Marv Rothery, Rock Ridgway, John Van Meter, Chelvanaya Gabriel, Wahinia Marikia, Yadira Yaya Capaz, Moni Eugenia Shadai, Bobby Fishkin, Eileen Strickland McGee, Patricia Sogayar, Raquel Woods. Coming up next, DJ Keto. He's going to take us home with a little dance party. The amazing team behind the Design Science Studio. I'm like, are we missing anyone? We're missing Mark Smith. But yeah, Ari Laser, Eve Rose, Mark Smith, Yurgi, myself, Mariam, Mariette, Spencer, Gabriela, Mage, Rex. Rex is up here. Nice. Love that. And some of these are not the people, but you know what? Everyone's getting a new name. They're perfect. Those were perfect. Our partners, a big shout out to our partners. Vision Train, Choo Amplifier Art, Denizen, Catalyst, who made this whole incredible platform and like creates all the things behind the scenes to help all of our information be navigatable and explorable on the platform to find each other and see all the gifts that everyone has to offer. That's so generous. Regenerosity, Habitual, it's our creative studio, the Buckminster Fuller Institute. Together we've formed the Design Science Studio, Climate Designers, MAPS, one of our partners this year, the Multidisciplinary Association for Psychedelic Studies, Denizen. I had made some other ones that say all the thank yous. I did update those, Spencer. Let's see where they went. Oh, did they get deleted? Well, um, there are a few that just like kind of speak to our general gratitude for the earth, for all the stewards and the visionaries and the revolutionaries. I mean, this is our fourth Regenera Rising Summit. And this year we have 88 new revolutionaries that are in this process of launching and completing their cycle as cohort 4 members. You are now all evolutionaries. Welcome to the other side. And before that, there were another whatever 460 minus 88 is 376, something like this, folks who went through the program. There's 50 plus countries that have participated, which is amazing. 350 projects launched, and just a tremendous amount of effort and love and time and vision and care. It's really like one of the things that was happening behind the scenes while we're scrambling over here, and Spencer's like putting all these pictures in to honor and love everyone. I'm like seeing all the people from before who were in these slides from this copy, and I'm like, oh, because we had slides for all our past visionaries, and we were doing an invitation for this year, and I did a filter view, and there was like 80 educators so far in the design science studio over the years. There's a ton of people who like have volunteered, for the most part, volunteered their time to share their wisdom across so many different spectrums and fields and modalities. Because we ask this big question, what does it take to co-create a world that works for all of life? What do we need to learn? What do we need to unlearn? We're on the heels of and shoulders of many giants. Buckminster Fuller is one of them, and there's the earth itself, and so many visionaries. Donella Meadows was making a cameo over here. Mariette's got a octopus on her shoulder. We got the the wisdom of the sea, and we start with universe, and we're learning and unlearning a lot. We went through this whole educational journey because we are in this inquiry. We're on a quest. We're really asking ourselves this question: how do we build the capacity of each other, of the creative community, to be in support of helping to catalyze these just and regenerative and equitable futures for all of life? And it requires grief. It requires like hospicing. It requires a deep, honoring of where we are, but also where we're going and who we're becoming along the way. And it's just such an honor to get to do that together. A lot of this work it's already feels like intense to be in a world that is both flowering and blooming and on fire. And as some of the systems crumble and others are born, we are inside of them, and we have to remember to come back together with each other, because we're not alone. And this is like such a beautiful lived experience of that, not aloneness. And we show up and support each other and amplify each other and encourage each other and learn and live together. And one of the oh, nice, you brought them back up. One of the slides that I will now get to. Thank you, Spencer. Thank you. Undo button. Yeah, so this one was all the featured speakers, volunteers, 88 revolutionaries, Gaia, our ancestors, all those whose names aren't here but have made incredible contributions to this vision, and all of those to come. Together, we launched a world that works for all of life, and this was made through our spontaneous cooperation and collaboration. We thank you for making Regenera rise. And now Regenera is going to dock on land. Wow. So I'm actually literally going to leave this call after our dance party and drive to the site because I need to do a quick site visit because there's an event happening before us. And they wanted to jam with us a little bit to see if they wanted us to leave any fun things. But this beautiful land, that was actually where the first solar was sold, very solar punk anchor space in Hopland, California. It's called Gateway Mendocino, and we're going to be gathering there for an interdependent summit in person with all of the citizens of Regenera to come and play and continue this with each other, with the land. And it's a testament to the fact that we are not only interdependent with each other and the earth as citizens, as yeah, as an opportunity to like reinvigorate our civic imagination in this historic moment in the world, but also with all of life and with the ecosystems and with the broader body of the planet. So this is the first time ever that Regenera Rising is going to come to like a sleepover camping festival, basically. So we are all so excited and also just teeming with anticipation of what this is going to be like. And so we invite you to join us in person if you can. And yeah, with that, I will come back to your sweet faces because we are in this gratitude rain party. And just thanking everybody. I wanted to bring up some of our vision train folks too. Marina is here. And we also have, let's see, is Allie still here? Allie, from the Vision Train. They've been with us every day on this beautiful adventure. She's off camera, but Marina, you can hold the anchor for the Vision Train. And yeah, just so much gratitude to you all, to the train. I mean, we've hosted every event we've ever done online on the Vision Train. Amanda Sage, who's not here in person today, she started the Vision Train. It was her design science studio project and her painting she made, which was the Great Wave of Transformation. That was the piece that she made while in the design science studio. And it's, as she says, we're docking train cars, we're linking train cars, you know. If we're gonna tend to this regenaissance together, it's together. And Patricia was speaking to this so beautifully a few minutes ago about how this is not something that happens in isolation. This is something that we get to do together, and there is sufficiency. There's enough. There's enough for all of us to thrive and to help support and find the others. So yeah, just wanted to share a little bit from my heart. And also I just want to thank everyone for trusting me. I have a lot of really big ideas and they're very intense sometimes. And everyone gives me a lot of their time. And it's really an honor to get to co-create with all of you. I know it's a big devotional like body of work that we're all stewarding together, and it would be impossible if we didn't do it together. And so I'm just super honored. It's so beautiful what we're doing for each other and for the world, and it's just like a testament just to like sit inside of these spaces where we get to hear from everyone and just see everything that everyone's creating and witness you all supporting each other. And it just gives me a lot of hope for the future. So thank you.
Thank you, Roxy. I can say that I was here in the first summit of the Design Science Studio on the Vision Train. And it was really special to see this room full of people and these inspiring talks that always comes up, and with people from all over the globe, like you're saying, linking cars and the Vision Train, the Design Science Studio, and many other projects are these hubs where thinkers can, and explorers and artists and many different kinds of living in the society, we can all come together in one place and listen to each other and share all these stories. And it's so potent. I can say this because I live here on the Vision Train. I can say that I live in this community vibe
And here on the Vision Train, we cultivate that deeply as well. We have here on the room Kyra, and Danielle was here as well. Kyra is in Peru. She is doing a mural, and you can see her progress. You could see her progress since Friday, and she's here like listening to all these stories. And it's really, really inspiring to see this room full of people and know that you are all in the world. You're all putting out your precious gifts. So thank you very much. I'm really glad to be here. Amazing.
Thank you, Marina. Thank you, Kaira. Thank you. Thank you, Vision Train community. And I'm curious if anyone else from this beautiful team wants to share anything before we bring Kairishi up here to share, before we have some music. Mark?
Yeah, Roxy. I had my finger on the button and I was just about to press it. And I was like, okay, do I do this or not? Beaming with y'all and Marina also, I've been hanging out on the Vision Train at all these summits since the start as well. And the first year, nobody had any idea what we were doing. And it was just like, it was chaos and it was just intense. And to see the evolution of how this has played out over the years, and this cohort 4, what you've presented over the last 3 days is just phenomenal. And there's I think the context in how the team of the Design Science Studio has given you a framing over these 3 days seems different to me than past years. And it seems we've gotten to know you all well. We've gotten to really go into depth into your projects, and the idea that you're all going to be together and invite in a public, a new citizenry into Regenera Rising come July 4th weekend for the sense of interbeing and declaring what that feels like to each of you is something to look forward to. And I imagine, I feel it, like I sense our ancestors will be telling these stories. They will be singing the songs of the mythilium, of how this happened, that humanity made it to the other side. Sustaining listening to. Yeah, that's what I got for you.
Thank you for beaming, Mark.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll step in for just a second, Mark, because your beaming has been such a source of energy for me, and I know for so many through this experience. And it goes right back up to Roxy and to Ari and Mage and Spencer, Eve, who's not on camera with us right now. And so many of the others in those slides, and all of you right now. I just want to pick up on that these are the most accelerated times that any of us have experienced. And from the beginning of the Design Science Studio to now, they're already feeling almost like different worlds. And this was particularly challenging. Some of us had family members in conflict zones. Some of us had, just like real deep challenges. And throughout the globe, people are having all sorts of really deep challenges. And consistently, this community showed up and shows up. And so, in that thickening of this experience right now, in this sort of flex upon flex upon flex moment that we're being asked to stretch into, I just want you to know that my experience of all of you are like these, like what Mark would say, these incredible beams. and you just keep leading this beautiful light show. And I don't really know where it goes, but I know it goes into a field of the future. And it's an honor to be here with you. So thank you. Who's next?
I'll just go ahead and share just because it's like on the tip of my tongue. And I feel like it's catching a beam, reflecting the beam, sharing the beam, becoming the beam as it happens. So I'm in the space where I have continually just like given myself to things that didn't reciprocate. And Design Science Studio has always reciprocated in a way that is beyond words. And like obviously nonprofit trying to get funding is always a thing, but like this is something that is so incredibly important to me. Like I'm just saying this. Like tomorrow I'm putting in a resignation at a job that I thought was my dream job because I'm choosing to live my lore. I'm choosing and tomorrow is my day that I choose to live my lore, which is the company, the creative company that I'm starting, Living Lore Creative. So I'm choosing to live my lore from this point forevermore because I mean life is too short, and if we don't preserve and tell our stories, then no one's going to tell it for us. And this is what I do for Design Science Studio. I help with the archiving of the media, help of the I'm a resident story tender, lots of storytellers, and preserving the wisdom of the past for the inspiration of the future. And you know, there's this big hot topic about AI. I want to say that AI can only, data sets can only show us the past, but creativity shows us the future. So it's highly important for all of us to keep creating no matter what. And, you know, no matter how hard it gets, like we are put here on purpose. It's not an accident. So I'm gonna just slide off camera with that. But I mean, I'm still here. Anyways, thanks, y'all. So much love. Also, shout outs to Miriam in the background. I see you.
I see Eve writing in the chat. Eve says, I love you all. I'm so deeply thankful for the support, love, and encouragement that this team, community, and project beam out into the world. We love you, Eve.
Love you.
Love you.
Yeah, and also just really celebrating Spencer, who came on board this year and joined the
Heck yeah.
team. Woo! Oh man, I love not having to think about what it would have been like without you, Spencer. It's really incredible. So grateful. So grateful. Holding it down. Eve called you a goat in the chat. I might have missed that. But I know you're a picnic table. You're fabulous and incredible and talented and wonderful and so dependable. It's been so amazing. And Scratchy. Also, John, you have your hand up, and then I want to bring Kairishi up here.
Yeah.
What up, John?
Okay, I just wanted to reach out and say thank you for this safe space that's energetic and dynamic and coming from so many directions all at once. We're a worldwide force for good, and everyone here is supportive and supported. And I just wanted to echo that because not every place is like that. And this restores my hope in the future. So thank you all.
Thank you, John.
Mm-hmm.
I think I had an opportunity to shout you out one time this cycle, but it's worth saying again that there were a few periods where we had some downtime, and at some point we had created like a recurring patronage opportunity before we launched the one this year. And John, like, we didn't do a very good job telling anyone about it. But anyways, John signed up for it immediately. And that like $45 a month, like when I would see that come in, I was like, John loves us. Like, we have someone on the outside who believes in us. And it's so funny how like something so simple like that, just like recurring, consistent, like, and that exists with so many people's time and energy. And like, John, you've shown up so much and supported behind the scenes for years. And so I'm glad you're sitting up here with the team because you are definitely on it. Thank you. We love you. Excited to see you in person finally after all these years and hug you.
Well, that's how I take my dirty money and put it in good causes.
Gotta clean it. Love, love, love. I love this painting you've been working on, Kyra. Any final words from Scratchy or Ari?
Oh, I was just gonna say that we'll edit that part out for you. Wait, where'd I go? Oh, wait, there I am. We'll edit that part out. Okay, they don't. I'm not green, but it's okay. Anyways, I am green. Just kidding. Anyway, just whatever.
Resident
Yeah.
Raccoon?
My only last words are just how much you all inspire me, and that's in this team here, and the hard work and the care and the dedication that everybody pours in, and it's to every one of the revolutionaries becoming evolutionaries out there. You're all amazing, and thank you for helping us tend this. You are a part of the family now, and as much as you want to lean in and be a part of this as we grow it, you are so welcome at this table. And we so look forward to learning from you in that capacity.
Thank
All
you,
right.
Ari. Love you. Well, now we have the pleasure of hearing from one of our other evolutionaries, alumni from Cohort 3, Kairishi, and then DJ Keto from the Vision Train is going to give us the gift of a dance party where we get to shake it out and just integrate all of this goodness. So the gratitude love storm is officially reached its at least for the moment pause point so that we can bring this magnificent human up here to share a bit from her heart before we dance together. All right, Kairishi, where are you at, Queen? Let's find you.
Do you see me?
Hi!
Hello, how are you?
Oh, good. My face hurts from smiling.
Too much goodness.
So much goodness.
I
So
understand.
much goodness. I'm so glad you reached out and you're able to join us. And
Me too. I almost missed it. I was like,
no.
but thank you for extending always. I love the way DSS includes alumni. I think the so quote unquote intergenerational aspect of it with regard to the different cohorts is really powerful. And I think it's important. And yeah, so with that, I'm going to share a piece called Kairishi, the artist. But before I start, typically I would pour libation, but I want to honor the fact that Friday was Juneteenth. And that is such a powerful day, especially in a time when those who have power um, would elect to cut parts of our story and hope that we forget and try to shape history in their eyes. I think it's important for us to name our stories and our traditions and keep them alive. And so with that, I just want to call on all of those ancestors whose names we know and those we know not. I want to call on all of those ancestors from the east, the west, the north, the south. I want to call on all of those ancestors we've lost in any of our traditions through genocide, through colonization, through horrific wars and unnecessary violence. I want to call on those ancestors directly from the Houston, Galveston, Texas area who were the last to be notified that slavery had ended several years before. And last but not least, I want to call on Miss Opal, who they consider, her name is Opal Lee, and they consider her the grandmother of Juneteenth. And she used to walk like thousands of miles every year to press the government to make Juneteenth a holiday. So while Biden signed it into a national holiday, it is because of the footwork, literally the blood, sweat, and tears of Miss Opal, who walked from Galveston to DC every year to petition the government to do so for years. So with that, I say ashe. All right, this piece is a little different from me, but I hope you enjoy it. You're about to embark on an exciting journey with one of the most creative, energetic, determined, and student-centered professionals you'll ever meet. I'm a highly motivated individual that seeks to actively contribute to the artistic and educational community by encouraging and motivating people towards growth, development, and self-expression. With that in mind, I consider myself a humble conduit of change and a creative reflection of all the beauty that exists in the world. One of my core identities is artist. I am an artist. I've been creating art in some form or fashion throughout my entire life. I don't have a choice in whether I create or not. I craft words, movement, and pictures, both consciously and unconsciously. And in many ways, it is as natural to me as taking a breath. In addition to my artistic side, there are 3 other aspects of my identity that really inform my values and ways of being as a person in the world. Being Black, being a woman, and being fat are my most dominant characteristics. They guide my life choices and they feed, shape, and root my art. It's very rare that I create a work of art without one of my character traits in mind. They're always there, even when they're not the driving force, like an undercurrent helping to keep me rooted in my values and intentions. Art has always been an important aspect of my life. It's helped to mold me into a better, more aware individual, while at the same time offering me an outlet to dissect and work through all the pain, confusion, frustration, excitement, joy, and love I've experienced as a result of growing up with my story in this body. Art is often my most powerful means of communication. It's where I turn to when I need to better understand people or issues. And it's a very consistent, very commanding vehicle for me to communicate my thoughts, feelings, and experiences back to the world. In my opinion, art is such a crucial aspect of life. Art symbolizes creation and a connection to the divine. Creating art allows us to tap into that energy and experience our highest selves. Art also evokes thought, inspiration, freedom, and communication. More than thinking about what is, art has the ability to make us dream about what could be. Art is an avenue for exchange. It strips down, presents a message that is naked and vulnerable so that it can transcend boxes, issues of oppression, and preconceived notions, allowing it to speak directly to the human spirit. But beyond all of this, art has the ability to evoke sensations in me in a way that nothing else does. I love it. I love the way it makes me feel, both when I'm creating it and experiencing it. It's beautiful and exciting, harmonious and chaotic all at once. It's pure love and an honest display of a God moment. I have 3 great artistic loves: music, dance / choreography, and poetry / spoken word. My first artistic love is music. I absolutely adore music. I love all types of music, but especially jazz, R&B, hip hop, reggae, and soul. I also appreciate collaboration between different styles, such as hip hop mixed with rock, soul merged with jazz, or world music fused with electronic. I don't know the first time I heard music, probably in utero, but what I do know is all it took was one note, and from there, I was hooked. Some of my earliest childhood memories include music. I remember my father playing John Coltrane, Miles Davis, Hugh Masekela, and Miriam Makeba. I remember the first time my mother introduced me to Nat King Cole, Bob Marley, Still Pulse, and Third World. These musicians filled my heart with music in a way that was timeless. I remember Stevie Wonder, The Whispers, the Jackson 5, Anita Baker, Tina Marie, the Bee Gees, Arrested Development, Diggable Planets, and Hall & Oates, all acting as a backdrop and serving as the soundtrack to my life. I remember going to see the Elements, Earth, Wind, and Fire in concert for the first time when I was not even 5 years old and falling forever in love with them. I also love instrumental and vocal music, but really love the relationship that's created between the two of them. For instrumental, I'm completely taken by the sounds of the sexy saxophone, a soulful cello line sneaking between bars, and the sultry upright bass, and of course the rhythmic African feel of the drums. I've come to realize that I carry an affinity for certain sounds, especially ones that are deeper. As for vocal music, I really don't have a consistent preference, but I can say for sure that if the voice is soulful, raspy, or filled with emotion, it will strike a chord in me. In my opinion, music sounds like the voice of God, and Most High speaks to me through John Coltrane's spiritual, syncopated notes and consciousness, Michael Jackson's sweet voice that seems to churn soul and pop until they are happily married. Dwelle's deep and urban soulful grooves, Music Soul Child's tasteful way of making the inner city streets sound like falling in love. Fertile Ground's contemporary fusion of the African diaspora, Nina Simone's fierce, sultry voice, Branford Marsalis' amazing, beautiful soprano saxophone, Sting's powerful voice, and Hugh Masekela's bold flugelhorn and raw, sensual voice that immediately takes me from being an adult back to my childhood, and from childhood through ages and villages across land and sea until I am wrapped safely in the heart of Africa. Whenever I listen to music, I'm stirred between words. I'm stunned by its sheer and honest beauty. It makes me cry, sing, dance, and want to jump inside the song simultaneously. When I hear music like The Roots, New Edition, Boyz II Men, Alice Coltrane, Billie Holiday, Earth, Wind and Fire, Fela Kuti, Grover Washington Jr., Al Jarreau, Mos Def, Talib Kweli, Jill Scott, Lauryn Hill, India.Arie, Elton John, Ambrosia, Santana, Bob Marley, Still Pulse, and countless others, I'm not only connected to God, but to all the wonderful, enchanting people and things that exist. For music, my next love is dance. Dance has always been my secret conversation with music. I think of it as my voice or my way of expressing whatever I feel from the music. Beyond my own artistic expression through dance, I love the way bodies can be manipulated. I love lines, body rolls, hip rolls, and the contrast between shapes that are linear, angular, and circular. I love that whereas in music, you can hear the polyrhythms, in dance, you can help people see them and by bringing them to life. I cannot imagine living without either of them, and experiencing both of them makes me want to move. Additionally, my dance staples are Alvin Ailey American Dance Theater, the Dance Theater of Harlem, and Katherine Dunham. They are the epitome of great dance in this country. I love the way each of them combines their own African aesthetic with power, grace, and impeccable technique. Their dancers make me want to fall in love with the possibility of things. I love choreographers. I love choreographers that take risks, utilize their platform to connect with the audience and tell a deeper story or convey a deeper message. I love dances that contain variations and fuse more than one style together. I especially love when an African-based dance like hip hop, Haitian, or Congolese gets fused with a Western dance style like modern or ballet. As much as I love to dance, I enjoy choreographing almost as much. Some of my favorite choreographers are Ronald K. Brown, Doug Caldwell, Ramon Ramos Alayo, Robert Henry Johnson, and Colette Elwa. Doug Caldwell's impeccable use of emotion and technique make his lyrical dances fun, powerful, and enticing in a way that immediately snatches the audience in. As for the others, they're just simply dynamic, each of them offering a living model of the African aesthetic. Their work challenges the dominant paradigm while saturating the audience with culture, community, and conversation. If I had to define my choreographic approach, I would say that it is Afro-modern fusion. I feel as though that description best describes my style. I'm not a pure modern dancer because far before anyone's formal dance class, I was doing Black popular dances with my family. And those African dances, they are ingrained in me. They are rooted in me as a part of my natural vocabulary. As I've gotten older, I was introduced to dance styles from the African diaspora, such as West African, Afro-Cuban hip hop, tap, Haitian, and much later Congolese. These styles, though entered into my movement vocabulary at different times throughout my life, feel as though they have always been there. They tap into my spirit and reawaken my genetic memory, whereas a lot of Western movements have been learned and embedded in my body throughout repetition. The African movements feel as if they were threaded in my DNA. I believe that there are many commonalities between my dance style and that of my African American peers, but I think that there are two things that set us apart: an unobtainable sensuality that I have, and a conscious statement of pride, self-love, and self-acceptance. Before I ever knew about Busby Berkeley or knew anything about synchronized swimming, I was incorporating the two of them during the summers in my local neighborhood pool. I would spend hours dancing in the water, flipping over and to free my legs and explore the range of movement possibilities. My first solid inspirational contact with a dancer slash choreographer was Debbie Allen. In both the movie and television show Fame, I was also a huge fan of Kids Incorporated. In fact, as a child attending San Diego School of Creative and Performing Arts, I believed that it was my destiny to go from Kids Incorporated to Fame to being actually famous. These images were etched on the walls of my mind at a very young age and continue to influence the way that I create pictures with my words, but especially with my bodies. Every time that I move, every dance that I create is a collection of so many memories and artistic experiences. I'm a product of all of this, as well as Gregory Hines, Sammy Davis Jr., Savion Glover, the movie Tap, Nipsey Russell, Diana Ross, Ted Ross, Lena Horne, Quincy Jones, and the movie and cast of The Wiz. I'm a product of Fred Astaire, Bob Fosse, Gene Autry, and countless MGM pictures. I am a product of the Atlanta child murders, Alex Haley's Roots and Queen, Eyes on the Prize, Cry Freedom, The Color Purple, The Women of Brewster's Place, Daughters of the Dust, Black exploitation films, Crush Groove, Michael Peters, Pat Benatar, Alvin Ailey, Judith Jameson, Chuck Davis, Bill T. Jones, The Court Jester, Pearly Victorious, Rent, Cats, Annie, Fiddler on the Roof, LeVar Burton, Donald McHale, Doug Caldwell, Joe Tremaine, Catherine Dunham, Pearl Primus, Michael Jackson, Run DMC, Curtis Blow, and many, many others. I'm a child of Sarah Bay, Janice Antonio, and Clifford Breland, the famous Jet Jackson, Smart Guy, the Torkelsons, Once and Again, and a whole slew of others that I don't have space to mention. I'm a child of Nickelodeon, the Disney Channel, and Saturday morning cartoons. I'm the child of Spike Lee, Bill Duke, Gary Marshall, Penny Marshall, Robert Redford, Clint Eastwood, Ozzie Davis, Ruby Dee, Melba Moore, Steven Spielberg, Jim Henson, Tim Burton, Ron Howard, Denzel Washington, Jane Austen, Hugh Grant, Jerry Lewis, Danny Kaye, Woody Allen, James Earl Jones, Robert Guillaume, Mel Gibson, George Lucas, Gordon Parks, Ang Lee, Kenneth Branagh, Emma Thompson, and Colin Firth. I'm a product of the Black arts movement and the Harlem Renaissance, and with them, Alice Walker, Nikki Giovanni, Amiri Baraka, Gwendolyn Brooks, Maya Angelou, Langston Hughes, Paul Laurence Dunbar, Countee Cullen, Zora Neale Hurston, and James Baldwin. I'm a child of Kathy Irvin and Val Lamar and Leslie Bryan. I am also the product of the 80s and 90s. This is a huge impact on my artistic perception because I grew up with such strong film and television influences. I can't act as if watching pictures and television didn't influence how I see the world and how I interrogate art. I am filled with memories of The Cosby Show, A Different World, Benson, Dawson's Creek, 90210, Herman's Head, Living Single, Ally McBeal, Boston Public, and Felicity. Together, these artists, movies, television shows, and networks help to persuade all of my choreographic choices, the music I use, the shapes and stories that I construct, and even the costume and stage effects that support my dances. I also love poetry. I love words. I love playing games with words and finding new ways to link words together. When it comes to poetry, my loves, my foundation is rooted in the work of Nikki Giovanni, Maya Angelou, Langston Hughes, and Eloise Greenfield. As a child growing up, when it was difficult when it was a difficult task to undertake, I looked to them. When I was being talked about because I was fat or depressed or suicidal, those individuals in their words helped me cling to life. They saved my life. They showed me a healthy way to deal with everything that was going on inside of me and around me. And with it, they supplied me with the perfect formula to save my life. These poets, along with writers like Sonia Sanchez, Ntozake Shange, Paul Laurence Dunbar, and the last poets, were more than just great writers to me. They were the bridge between me and my mother, and in some cases, me and my grandmother. I love the way that they can be subtle, but also choose to be right in your face. I love that they are unapologetically themselves and Black, and I love that they wrote the kind of poems that could help me, a young Black girl in Southern California, better navigate my childhood. And I adore the fact that poems can either live on the page or in someone's mouth. In terms of spoken word, I love Saul Williams, Noni Lamar, Lebo Mashile, Napo Mashiani, Flo Makela, Talam Asi, Mark Marcel, Black Ice, and Suhair Hamad, just to name a few. These spoken word artists are my favorites because there is never a time when I listen to one of them perform that I am not inspired to go home and write something myself. People often refer to me as an erotic poet because I have been known to perform an erotic poem from time to time. But I am more than that. I write what I feel. I write from firsthand most of the time. And I am just as much of a poet as a spoken word artist. I like pieces that can live on the page, but I also love to perform. And I like the way performing allows my words to be like a song singing through the air. I now combine a sense of rhythm, timing, and movement into my pieces. They are no longer just poems. Many of them live in a way that I am starting to categorize as movement poetry. When I perform a poem, the movement is almost always as important to the piece as the words I'm saying. My poems contain elements of power, strength, knowledge of self, wisdom, questioning, culture, oppression, eroticism, body image, spirituality, music, movement, and family. I am all of these aspects, and subsequently, so are the things that I create. As an artist, I try very hard to be honest and transparent. I strive to get my own truth in order to communicate that to my audience. I try to make sure that pieces of myself are always reflected in the work that I create. My dance style, my writing, my choreography, and my spoken word pieces are all very distinctly Kairishi. And though they may be loud, edgy, raunchy, sensual, affirmative, sexy, unapologetic, rhythmical, circular, and sometimes clumsy, they are also seeking to tell truth, especially my truth. They are questions, and they ask questions that inspire others, speak for those who are silent, connect me with the African diaspora, and always aspire to be a better piece of art. I am a fan of fusion, either across categories or mixing different genres within the same category. Perhaps the biggest affirmation of this is the way that I fuse movement, spoken word, and music together. I believe that the greatest power of an artist like John Coltrane or Nikki Giovanni is that they are always seeking to become their best selves through their art. The same is true for me. I aspire to be my best self. And although my art is definitely influenced in some way by the entire group of artists that I love, at the end of the day, my goal is to develop the best artistic Kairishi I can. Thankfully, the individuals who have influenced me and continue to inspire me have set good examples and raised the bar in their own unique ways. This speaks volumes to the type of artist I am. I seek to break down social barriers and investigate the politics of identity and otherness. In doing so, I want my audience to examine their own relationship to otherness. Be it what it feels like to be an other, or what causes them to treat people like others. What's more, having music as my first love is great because the biggest gift that music holds is the gift of feeling. Music hands me the gift of feeling, and in turn, I strive to create art that allows people to feel that. I always want my past to connect to my present, my joy to touch my pain, and my current state to feel my future. The artist that I admire and the work that has inspired me has taught me to value personal growth and expression over acclaim and accolades. I am committed to producing the type of art that can sit in the company of the individuals I love, that I respect, and still shape and shift in a way that permits it to speak to the masses. I come from a long line of artists and histories whose shoulders I find myself standing upon, and they have helped to mold me into the person that I am today. My lineage is long and vast and reflects in my body and is reflected in my body of work. It too is a fusion of sorts. I'm a mixture of my father's saxophone and flute, Debbie Allen's diverse legacy of dance, theater, and film, my mother's never take no for an answer attitude, as well as her drive to fight, my grandmother's strength, the slave trade, my ancestors' commitment to survival, the Soweto massacre, civil rights, the the fighting spirits of Steve Biko, Ya Asante, Malcolm X, and Hatshepsut, the pioneering spirits of Phyllis Wheatley and Matthew Henson, and a whole host of other ancestors who have laid favor on me. African drums, griots, African dancing and rhythms, my family's love, my brother's eloquence and athleticism, my great uncle F.L. Dunwar's love for words and the pen, my cousin Alma's sense of adventure and travel, my cousin Alim's African-centered mindset, Dr. Benson's love for music, Sister Adassa's passion for dance, Mr. Duncan's gift for teaching, Brother Majadi's African mindset and historical consciousness, Sister Naila's love for wisdom and lessons, Sister Abshad's underlying love for Black folks, the Black arts movement, Title IX, feminism, Pan-Africanism, Simba Sis's village mentality, and many, many more. I stand on the backs of many. And forever, I will take them with me as I create. Ashe.
Wow. Karishi, so nice to hear your voice, so nice to see your face, and what a testament to how we are woven by the works and hands and blood and sweat and tears of so many. What a deep, deep love poem from your heart into the collective space of knowledge that we live in, the sea that we are, the sea and soil that we are raised in, as creative beings. It really just moved me so much. Thank you for acknowledging Juneteenth, and I couldn't help but think as you were reading through all of those words of Fannie Lou Hamer's words and Maya Angelou's words that, none of us are free until everyone is free, and that the work of liberation is a work of tending our collective soil together. And that, I could not be who I could be without some of those voices that you spoke to and the way they speak to me, and you could not be the person that you are otherwise. Yeah.
Definitely. Even the ones that we don't see as like prominent. That's why it was important to like put Ambrosia and Elton John. Like when I really like let Ambrosia come on, and I am going to fall in love. And we have to be honest about the pieces that really stir us inside, the things that stir us.
Yeah.
So thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Yeah. So nice to have you in our corner here. And I can't think of a more perfect way. I'm going to pass it back to Roxy, who's going to share with us a repository of poems from throughout the Design Science Studio, and a beautiful work that her mom and her own blood and kinship has tended.
Nice.
Can I invite unmute and share the love back to you, Kairishi, from all these beautiful humans that are in the room with us? Inviting you to unmute and just share your sounds, your gratitude, your love. Thank you.
Thank
Yes,
you.
thank you, Kairishi. Thank you.
What a heart.
Thank you, everybody.
Yay, love you so much. I was writing to Ari. I was like, wow, like couldn't, I mean, he said it, but I will say it again, that like we started on Juneteenth, and like to come back through the circle, through the portal, to kind of close the container together. It's just such an honor, and you're such a testament to all that your ancestors fought for. You're so beautiful, Kairishi. Thank you. Thank you for your art. Thank you for your heart. Such a joy to be in community with you. And thank you for bringing us Dr. Siri Brown. We had an amazing session with her this year because of you.
Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed, Siri. She just took us, she took a group I was leading to Jamaica. She took us to Jamaica in April.
Cool.
It was nice.
Yeah, she's super cool.
Mhm.
Love you so much.
I love you too. Thank you.
Yeah. Are you still doing your fundraiser? Could you put it in the chat?
Oh, definitely. Yes, I am.
That would be great. I would love to just share that with folks here.
Thank you
You've been
so
on
much.
this big healing journey, and
I have been. Yes. And my I don't know if people know this, but my live-in caretaker slash niece passed away unexpectedly in January. So that
Oh,
is like throwing all of my stuff. That was why it made the fundraiser so very necessary. So
I'm so sorry to hear that.
thank you. I mean, we all have our journeys. So, but
Yeah,
it just that impacted my health journey in a particular way.
yeah,
So
totally.
thank you.
Yes, I love you, sending you all of the help and continued healing. And
I
thank you for
love you too.
continuing to give your heart so freely to all of us amidst all of it. It's amazing. You're such a gift, Kairishi.
Thank you. I love you too. And I can't wait to do more with y'all. And give me a second and I'll share my fundraiser in the chat while I'm reading all the amazing messages. I appreciate you all.
You're welcome. Thank you. Yes, yes. Please put it in the chat. And stick around. We're gonna have a dance party. Let's dance.
I'm gonna be here to dance.
Okay, good. Well, as Ari said, I'm gonna share a little peek into one of our worlds. We have a lot of different worlds that have been built throughout the years in a few different amazing platforms. Whew. One of them is called Topia, and it's really cool because there's art and projects and design interventions from creators across every year of the Design Science Studio in Topia. And so I'll share that, but I will start in a special world that was created, as Ari said, by my mother, who has been an artist in the Design Science Studio since the very beginning. Her name is Moni Eugenia Shohadai. She's from Colombia, and she's a poet. And when we first started using the technology and this platform, she said, "I want to collect everyone's poetry. There's not a poetry world." And so inside of the Regenera world in the art district, you can find a link to go to her world, but I'm just going to take us there and we'll listen to a poem, and then I'll put the link in the chat so folks can explore on their own. And I'll also put the link to the main Topia that has the portal to all the other 4 worlds. And we've been sharing it across the summit the last few days. And we thought that we'd have some like deep time to go romp around and nerd out in Topia together, but we ended up having a bunch of really beautiful humans wanting to share in the 11th hour. So we left the romping up to you all individually, but I'll share a little bit live right now, and then we'll close the stream and we'll have our internal dance party with everybody here, and it'll be beautiful. So this first world link is the poetry world that has poetry from members across the Design Science Studio. And I think I don't think I should. Oh, I did share my audio. So I'm in here. And here's my little guy. So we're gonna wander around. Do, do, do.
May we learn from banyan trees the creativity of growing aerial roots. May we learn from oak trees the engineering of inner depths withstanding violent storms. May we learn from neem trees the healing power of bitter medicines in fragmented sugar lands. May we learn from magnolia trees the artistry of unabashedly embodying our colorful magnificence. May we learn from coconut trees the tending of tenderness in the heart of hardness. May we learn from weeping willow trees the beholding of old grief, even as we sow new seeds. May we learn from tamarind trees the weaving of wide canopies made by dance of tiny leaves. May we learn from sequoia trees the regenerating passages of purging wildfires. May we learn from sandalwood trees the chemistry of preserving our fragrance through snaky entanglements. May we learn from birch trees the shedding of old skins for welcoming the future now. May we renew, may we renew, may we renew.
Ah, so good. The one really special thing about this world is that if I'm just going to zoom all the way out, the illustrations as well have been done by different artists in the studio. And there's a bunch of the black and white ones that were done by one artist. His name is Umair, who's an incredible architect and biophilic designer. And they were all done by hand, which is really special. So that's all I'm going to show from that world. And then I'll just quickly portal over here into the regenerative deck. And so this one is super sweet. You can, I just put it in the chat. You can go to the different 4 worlds. So the art district is one of the worlds. Whee! I'm gonna go there. And there's 3 other worlds: art district, agora. Bucky's lab is also an agora, and then we also have the village and natura. Yesterday we went to natura for a minute. And so as you wander around, there are so many projects. You can see people's beautiful artwork. Oh, this will take you to their websites. And just like on a normal browser, if you like zoom in or zoom out, you can see things bigger or smaller, which is super nice. You can go from here to Mora, the Museum of Regenerative Art, which will take you to a few of the different worlds. There's other worlds too. This just has 4. And that's like a whole 3D world situation, which is also super incredible. And yeah, I just encourage you to explore. There's so much to find throughout the years, and I will stop here because I've found the vision train. And there have been times when we've activated Topia, and when you make it over here to the vision train, there's actually artists sitting and painting. And so then you appear on the train, and then you find people that are live actually painting, and their little videos come up on the screen. And they're working on art, and yeah, it's such a trip. It's been really fun throughout the year. So I definitely encourage you to wander around and have fun, and enjoy the wilds of Topia, as is one of the many ways you can explore people's projects. And with that, I am going to bring back up our slide to close our live stream. So today was day 3 of Regenera Rising. It's also our last day of our virtual summit. And next stop for Regenera is in person in Hopland, California. So after this, we're going to have a dance party here on the Vision Train. Thank you again to everybody for convening. It's been such an honor to gather with all of you, creators for Regenerative Futures, and celebrate this great rising of this era of regeneration that we are all stewarding and restoring to support this great turning to be of benefit to all of life. So with that, and with a boatload of gratitude, a friendship, so to speak. I had a whole freak out yesterday because I didn't realize that the word friendship had the word ship in it. That's all thanks to Amanda Sage. I thank you, and I will end our live stream from here. Until next time.